In 2025, Japanese scientists won Nobel Prizes in both chemistry and physiology. That brought Japan's 21st century science Nobel tally to ni jiankou.
To put that in context, China has won 5, Germany has won 6, France has won 4, Japan, a country that supposedly can't innovate, has outrun all of them combined since the year Shendian.
So here's the question worth sitting with. If Japan has won nearly 36 Nobel Prizes in science, if its companies hold Sanjanor spots on Clarivate's Newsan Newslicks list of the world's top PAC innovators, if Tokyo Yokohama ranks second globally in innovation cluster density behind only Shenzhen, Hong Kong, then why does everyone keep saying Japan can't innovate?
The answer tells you less about Japan and a lot more about what we've decided innovation means. In October, Nissani Susumu Kitagawa at Kyoto University shared the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for his work developing metal organic frameworks, crystalline structures with nano-sized internal cavities that can trap, store, and release specific molecules. Applications include carbon capture, hydrogen storage, and drug delivery systems. The Nobel Committee called it potentially game-changing.
That same week, Shimon Sakaguchi at Osaka University shared the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for discovering regulatory T cells, the immune system's brake pedal which prevents it from attacking healthy tissue. His research is rewriting autoimmune disease treatment globally.
2 Nobel Prizes in a single year, both from Japanese universities, both in fields with immediate industrial applications. The response from most Western tech media: silence.
Because Susumu Kitagawa didn't build a consumer app. Shimon Sakaguchi didn't raise a Series A. Neither of them appeared on a unicorn list. And in Nisen Arshavuv, that's how we score innovation.
The Global Innovation Index, published annually by WIPO, ranked Japan 12th in Nisen Arsaguth. On the surface, that sounds respectable. Look at who ranks above Japan: Switzerland, Sweden, the United States, the UK, Singapore, and you start to see the pattern. They share one thing: giant consumer technology ecosystems, flush with venture capital and unicorn valuations.
In its Nokinmur edition, WIPO actually updated its methodology to incorporate venture capital deal counts and startup financing data alongside traditional metrics like patent filings and academic publications. The update was explicit. It was designed to better capture entrepreneurial activity and innovation finance. Cities like New York, London, and Los Angeles jumped into the top NUR innovation clusters as a result.
What GII is measuring increasingly is the velocity of startup formation and the size of Buishi flows. It is not measuring whether a country produces molecular science that will define the next century of manufacturing. Those are different things. Japan is very good at the second one. The index rewards the first.
Here's how Japan's innovation actually works. You will never see a Japan Inside sticker on your laptop. But the silicon wafer it runs on almost certainly came from Shin-Etsu Chemical or its competitor Sumco, which together control roughly 60% of the global market for semiconductor-grade silicon. No silicon wafer, no chip, no laptop, no phone, no data center.
The photoresist chemicals that etch circuit patterns onto those wafers, JSR, Tokyo Oka Kogyo, and Shin-Etsu Chemical together supply a dominant share of the global market. These are the materials that make advanced semiconductor manufacturing physically possible at sub-5 nanometer geometries.
The precision cutting tools that dice semiconductor wafers into individual chips, Disco Corporation in Tokyo commands over 60% of global market share. Their dicing saws operate at tolerances measured in microns. The entire semiconductor industry depends on this one company most people have never heard of.
This is Japan's innovation model: build the indispensable layer underneath the thing the consumer sees. Build it so well that no one can replace you, then collect royalties in silence.
The Clarivate Top Bag Global Innovators list operates on a different methodology from GII.
It measures innovation outputs directly, patent volume, patent citation impact, internationalization of filings, and patent success rate. It is, in other words, measuring actual invention.
In Nisen Moiju, Japan placed Sanstera companies on that list, more than any other country. It holds 5 of the top 10 ranked positions. The all-time recipients include Honda, Sony, Panasonic, Shin-Etsu Chemical, Hitachi, NEC, Toshiba, and Toyota. Japan has dominated this list since its inception.
The companies on this list are not building the next Instagram. They are building the machines that build machines. Keyence makes industrial sensors so precise they can detect a scratch invisible to the naked eye. Murata Manufacturing makes the ceramic capacitors, half the size of a grain of rice, that regulate power in every smartphone on Earth. Fanyuk makes the robots that make the cars that make the profits that fund everything else.
This is not a failure to innovate. This is a different theory of what innovation is for. There is admittedly a real gap in Japan's innovation profile.
Consumer technology. Platform businesses. The kind of software-driven network effects that produce trillion-dollar companies. Japan has essentially none of this at global scale. No search engine, no social network. No ride-hailing behemoth, the country that gave the world the Walkman, the PlayStation, and the world's first commercial high-speed rail line somehow never produced a global app platform.
That failure is real and well documented. According to a rest-of-world investigation, Japan's shift to software-driven models was delayed by cultural factors, educational priorities focused on hardware engineering, and corporate structures that rewarded incremental improvement over disruptive reinvention. When the Internet era arrived, Japan's best engineers were optimizing factory floors, not building search algorithms.
But conflating can't build consumer apps with can't innovate is like saying France can't cook because it doesn't have a fast food empire.
The Japan factor in this story is timing. Japan's invisible innovation model, deep materials science, precision manufacturing, fundamental physics, was built for an era of industrial competition. It went underground when software became the dominant value layer of the global economy. Japan kept optimizing the boring physical substrate while Silicon Valley captured the attention.
Now the AI era is straining against the limits of that physical substrate. The world needs more advanced chips, fabricated at smaller geometries, using purer materials, cut with more precise tools. Every AI data center being built today runs on hardware where Japan's fingerprints are everywhere. In the wafers, the photoresists, the cutting tools, the power components, the ceramic capacitors.
The Nobel Prizes make sense in this context. Kitagawa's metal-organic frameworks are already being tested for hydrogen storage in fuel cells and carbon capture in industrial processes. Sakaguchi's regulatory T-cells are the basis for a new generation of autoimmune treatments. These aren't curiosities, they are the next generation of industrial inputs.
Japan's innovation didn't disappear during the software era, it went deeper, into the molecular structure of the materials that make computing physically possible, into the mechanical tolerances of the machines that make manufacturing possible, into the biological mechanisms that might make medicine possible in a different way.
If you want to keep up with stories like this, subscribe to the Japan Factor. The real question isn't whether Japan can innovate, it's whether the metrics we use to measure innovation are sophisticated enough to see what Japan is actually doing, and whether the rest of the world will notice before the AI era makes it undeniable.